Alright, welcome to Electrical Solutions YouTube channel. Today we're going to put together this biller light and hang it. So it's got multiple different pieces in it, as you can see. So the first thing we're going to do is take these rings, connect the light here, take the lock ring, screw it on. If you can get it on. Snug it down real tight. Repeat for all three of them. Snug them down super tight with your hand, and then we're going to flip it over. So this light will hang with these pieces screwed in here. So we'll screw him in first. Get it nice and tight. Then we want it running parallel with the fixture. So you may need to do a little adjusting. Nice and snug there. And with this wire here, we're going to do the same thing. You're going to have to twist the wire with it as it goes. Same thing, you want it parallel so that when it hangs from the chain, it hangs straight. Then we have 4 of these clips. We're going to put 2 down here. And 1 over here. I run them back so you can tighten it much easier, and then you're going to put 2 of these on here as well. I like to keep them all the same direction. So if you have one going one way and another going the other way, to keep them that way. And now we're going to hang the chain and then see how high we want it to be. Tighten it down nice and tight. Then we'll figure out how high we want it real quick.
Oh, you see it? No? Okay. Yeah, you see?
Yep.
Is that good?
All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to measure the distance that we are off. We figured out that we wanted about 40 inches off of the table to the bottom of the light. So to adjust that, if we're a little bit higher, a little bit low, the only thing that we're going to do is either come up a link or down a link. It just depends on what you're trying to accomplish. And you'll do it on both sides as well. You will count how many links that you have and match it to the other side. So if you take one link up on this side, you need to take one link up on this side as well. So now with my height, I'm gonna actually leave them hanging so that when we get it, we determine that we want it at that height. We can adjust it if we need to. And yeah. All right, so the next thing that we'll do, we'll take our tester, make sure we're shut off at the switch. It's showing green, which means there's no power there. So then we'll take this bracket and we'll hang it how with the screws that are given. So we want the bracket to hang straight down so that it's not crooked when we put it up. Then what we'll do is we'll take the ground and we'll tie it around clockwise around the green screw that's on that plate. tighten it around, screw it down so it's nice and grounded to the box, especially because it's metal, it needs to be bonded. Then what we'll do is we'll take this wire and we will weave it through. I usually go about every 2 to 3 links. I'll cut this because he is way too long. We want to leave him a little bit longer, but not too long. So I'll cut it about a foot past where I believe it's gonna go. And then I'll weave it every 2 chain links, pulling it through completely before I move on to the next one. All right, go to the end. And then there's a hole that goes through right here. You will feed your wire through there. You want to kind of keep it up so it's not going to be too difficult going through. And then what we'll do here is we'll separate the wire just a little bit. And then with fixture wire, one side will be ribbed and one side will not be ribbed on the side. You gotta be careful because the middle is gonna be ribbed no matter what, because that's where you cut it. So you look on the outside, I can see this side's ribbed, so that's gonna be my neutral. Or my white wire. So I'll strip him back and then I'll strip the other side as well. So I need to remember which side is that, because that has to go to my white. The other side will be going to my black side. So then what I'll do is I will hang it, get it up there just temporarily, tie it in, and then we'll run the screw the rest of the way. So this one's gonna be a little bit more challenging by myself, but it's not that big of a deal. I'll set it on my shoulder. And then the first thing I'll do is I will tie in the ground. I always start with the ground first, which is gonna be my bear, my green. And I'll tie him in, put him just a tad bit past the other wire, put the wire nut on really tight. Then I'll move on to the next one. Then I'll move on to my white wire and then look for the rib. I found him. I'll tie him too. Once again, we gotta make sure the power's off previously to this, because if not, you can definitely shock yourself. So then I'll tie in my hot, move him past just a little bit. The hot is gonna be the black, neutral is gonna be the white. Make sure it's nice and tight, pull each one of them so that they aren't gonna come loose. Then what I'm gonna do is give myself some slack and I'm gonna fold my wires into the box. I want to make sure that I keep the black wire away from the other wires so it doesn't short inside the box. So I'll fold it in there and then I'll match up this hole to that hole. And then I'll put my round nut on there. Just get him started just enough and get some pressure off. Then we'll double check we like our length, height-wise. So we'll check our length, see that if we like it or if we don't like it. If we do like it, the next step would be to take a pair of pliers and open these chain links on the one that's not have any tension on it. So first we'll verify that we like it, which looks nice and even. We'll have to adjust it a little bit, but that's where it's gonna sit. All right, so the next thing we wanna make sure that this, first the table is squared with the room, which we squared it up with the tile right there. and on that side. So we determine it's about straight. The light just needs to be twisted a little bit. So the first thing we're gonna do is pull the links out of the chain, and that will also give the light, because it sits like this, it will also make it flat. All right, so we like our height where we're hanging, so we'll remove this link right here. There's no weight on it. There's one. Tighten this real tight to the roof. Swing it just a little bit so we get it to where we like it after it's settled down. All right, so we have it centered over the table this way and this way. The only thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna put some finishing touches on it. We are going to put the end caps on. We're going to pull this wire through so it's a little bit more evenly distributed, tucking in the excess. And we're going to screw in each light bulb. Then we're going to turn on the switch and enjoy the new light over the table. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.